Wedbush Securities Global Head of Technology Research, Dan Ives, is here with us for Market Overtime *. Good to have a little of your time, Dan, sir. Oh, great to be here, and thanks for the intro. Appreciate it, of course. For you, I don my most ostentatious pocket square. I'm moved. That is really like, look, you can do a pocket square, but can't even. Thank you for your time. We have plenty of worthwhile topics to discuss. You have a new role as well, and it's so worldwide that you're now all over the world, right? Does it alter your perspective in any way, or does it provide us more room to consider your coverage? Yes, I believe there is greater scope. It does extend somewhat in terms of coverage, but I believe that having greater coverage, particularly in Asia, China, and some other regions of the world, is the main goal. Do such markets have any chance against big tech in the United States? In our opinion, and that of our colleagues at Wedbush. Dan, how much actual difference do you think the incoming administration will make between U.S. leadership and the rest of the world? Yeah, I mean the United States. I believe that strength breeds strength. As a result, I believe that to be even more of an accelerant. However, I do believe that those areas have given us a potential advantage in terms of supply chain management and general demand in the tech industry. Considering what's going on in Asia, including Vietnam, Malaysia, and other places, I believe that big tech is experiencing a Cinderella moment under Trump. It's so positive for major tech that regulation basically gets defanged, deal-making increases, and Musk has a major seat at the table. If we go back in time, how much of it really a brand new story and how much is merely a cherry on top? In essence, it appears that we must return to COVID in order to have a meaningful big tech discussion. Much of this most recent theme movement seems to have its roots in this fruitful soil. Dan, walk me through that. It seems like we can learn more about when this began if we turn the clock back a bit. Basically, that was when we were reducing rates and dumping money. Well, no, look. I think that our conversations during many of those years marked the beginning of a new foundation. When you consider what happened in the tech industry, you can argue that some of them, such as Zoom and some of the COVID companies, clearly began to fall apart when lockdowns were over. But that's actually the beginning of what I see as a nearly 10-year cycle, starting with a move to the cloud, hyperscale, and foundational. Furthermore, I believe that we have only been involved for 3 or 4 years. The combination of what we've seen from Godfather Jensen and NVIDIA GPUs since 2022, what we've seen from OpenAI, and of course Microsoft, is what I believe altered everything. And when you consider AI, all of that is effectively bringing about the fourth industrial revolution. To what extent do you believe that COVID acted as a catalyst, forcing companies to embrace technology? I described it as a time machine in my newsletter at the time, saying that COVID essentially opened a portal, if you will, to this future need that would ultimately arrive, but it was kind of expedited. As you mentioned, there were a few one-off projects that didn't work out, but it also seems to have helped us into this new era. Yes, without a doubt. Since it sped up the transition to the cloud, I believe that sums up exactly what it did in the end. I mean, roughly 30% of your workloads were in the cloud when COVID, let's say, started in March 2020. We are nearly to 50% today and will reach 75%. It simply illustrates what transpired there in the end. That marked the start of what would eventually amount to trillions of dollars in capital expenditures for technology. For this reason, big tech, AGA, everything else, keeps growing. That isn't going to stop, especially since the Trump administration effectively defanged regulations. Khan and others will be out at the FTC. Thus, big tech is about to enter a truly golden period. I would like to discuss the changes occurring on the periphery. To avoid going too far, Dan, I would like to add one more thing about the beginnings of this. How much do you believe the entire system was proven out? Can we credit some of this to the money that was injected into the economy to get these ideas flowing, given the way we decreased interest rates and invested in capital markets? This is for anyone who has some questions about the premise that innovation is the source of prosperity. Correct? Isn't that the way technological revolutions occur? That's how revolutions happen, of course. It's no different, really. than when I wrote about technology following the financial crisis, TRP, and all of that. For the years 2010 through perhaps 2016 and 2017, that produced the next level of innovation. The system should operate in this manner, and when you consider that the Pillsbury Doughboy soft landing was basically Fed-engineered, you can see why the bears frequently seem intelligent with their spreadsheets and valuations, but they haven't kept up with any of the revolutionary technological trends of the past 15 years. So where are we at now? Do we need more economic stimulus? Or are things moving along on their own now that we have AI and NVIDIA's breakthrough, especially in terms of powering all this stuff? Dan, how much of it is self-moving now? 50% self-moving, 50% you still require, in my opinion. Deregulation and tax reduction are therefore crucial in the case of Khan, the FTC, Gensler, and others. Regarding the allocation of funds, I believe the Inflation Reduction Act will significantly change that. In my opinion, Musk will have a significant impact there. It's not exactly like Intel, the poster child for red tape. AI will be the main topic of discussion. I believe that companies like Amazon, Microsoft, Google, Palantir, and others will gain from hyperscale. The truth is that we are about to see a revolution that has never been seen before. It's a Cinderella tale for big tech, though, when you add that to Trump's election victory and a red sweep. And I believe that's why, since Trump entered the race, we've even witnessed that big rally. You think that some segments of the market are too frothy? I know that it's all about the management team. We were just discussing Jensen Huang on NVIDIA earlier. We're going to talk about NVIDIA. I do. The utilities play isn't something I necessarily believe in. You know, the need for electricity has caused everyone to kind of bid up utilities. The grid itself, in my opinion, has many problems. Therefore, it is useless for us to produce as much energy as we like if we are unable to distribute it to anyone. Additionally, I believe that the utilities sector is heavily regulated. Name a CEO in the utilities industry who is adept at handling challenging circumstances. I'm not aware of any. True enough, we don't discuss it every day either. You know, if NVIDIA fails, the market will fail as well. After the bell the day before yesterday, I believe that many people were actually waiting on NVIDIA. What do you think about the action? I'm happy that the numbers line up. They were excellent in my opinion. We can now have the Santa Claus rally as the year draws to a close because it's sort of just cleared the deck and the numbers. I keep returning to the question that everyone asks me. Will another chip company release a new chip and replace NVIDIA? When will we sell? We're not going to sell. Jensen is sprinting like crazy. He is far ahead of all of them. Additionally, I can't help but think of Karp from Palantir. I've been working on this moment for 20 years. Now is their time. They are in front of everyone else. You must simply join them in riding the wave. Do you also like Palantir? Yes, we do enjoy it. Since it's difficult to value, it was fascinating that we were early adopters of the name at Wedbush. Even though they don't always make sense, valuations continue to be performed. And at this point, the days of picking and shoveling are pretty much past. How can you use AI to benefit your business? And the chief technology officer of Palantir, I believe, stated that AI is currently very proficient at creating PowerPoints. They use AI to create applications that allow you to recoup your investment in your businesses. And that's the AI rally's next stage. Recognize that. Then there was Snowflake, who over the past day has truly taken many by surprise. Even if it is currently down 1.5%, some were genuinely taken aback. They did indeed execute. This quarter was incredibly successful. Although the valuations are still high, it's good that the new CEO is joining the company.